that human beings have been on this earth and that civilization has had governments in place. We are in our infancy. And in this short amount of time, we are the greatest country the world has ever seen.
Yes.
And we are founded on an idealism that you, the individual, have rights given to you by God, not the government.
That's right. Yeah.
And it's under attack. And the only way that they can push, and Karl Marx wrote about this. This is exactly what he wrote about. Dumb down the population, divide the population, disarm the population, impose your will. And that's the step we are at. That's the step we were at in the last election cycle with the president. That's the step that they're still pushing towards. They have to get rid of our guns if they want to rip up our Constitution and start over. That's exactly what their real play is. They hate America.
Yeah.
They hate our values and our way of life.
Yeah, and I was talking with a friend at Irish breakfast this morning, right?
Can you get rid of that hat so I can take you seriously?
I love my Irish hat.
Hey, I was going to come in my lime green fur coat today, but I decided not to.
That would have been awesome. No, I had a friend, and we were discussing the guns, right? And, he was kind of up in there about going to 21, and, I brought up the slippery slope, and he said, that's the straw man argument, the slippery slope. And I'm thinking, no, I can't. I understand your point. Maybe there's some common ground here, but it's not, because a Democrat will never leave it at that. It's always 1 inch here and then another inch and then another inch. So giving up the age to 21 or giving up the bump stock, I don't know. I'm still up in the air on that anyway. But there's reasons for it, right? They want to keep going. For a Democrat, a liberal, a progressive, you can't give the inch. You literally, there is no compromise, because they're not willing to compromise themselves. They're going to push it. This week, I'm going to do this. Next year, I'm going for this. So you give them the AR-15s at 21. Well, the next step is the Mini-14, the shotgun, the whatever.
But it starts with that bump stock. When you look at that bump stock, but a bump stock was used in that horrible shooting in Nevada, which nobody is telling us what happened there. Has
that been proven?
It's not the bump stock that's the problem. It's that nobody's telling us what's going on there.
Has it been proven that he had bump stocks?
On a couple of them. So I did see a couple of them on the photos that have been released. So there are a couple of them, not all of them. But here's the thing.
But first it's the bump stock, right? Then it's the AR-15, then it's like you said, the Mini, and then
it goes on and on and on, because the true aim is to disarm America. And I'm a United States Marine, so I'm very well trained in that AR-15, or what we would call an M16, right? It's the same weapon. The only difference is I get a 3-round burst in the military, not full automatic, a 3-round burst, and it's completely just a semi-automatic weapon on the civilian platform. But there's really no difference.
Full auto, and I was in the Air Force. Did they short you guys?
They did. They changed them. And so the idea was that, and it's the same as the bump stock.
Too much ammo.
No, I was shooting.
Well, it is. That's exactly why. And here's the reason, and this is why a bump stock is ineffective. I can put 30 rounds downrange faster and far more effectively than you can with the bump stock, and I'll hit my target. Because when you go to a fully automatic, your weapon rides, and you don't have the ability to control it anymore. So it's a falsehood. It's a false claim.
But I'll give them this: when you spray into a crowd, you're not looking for actually.
Okay, but if you sprayed into a crowd with a shotgun, you know what? You're going to kill people too. So it doesn't matter. So then it's semi-automatics, or we're supposed to go back to the days of the musket. It doesn't make sense. We should be keeping our Second Amendment for one reason and one reason only: to be able to defend our freedoms against a tyrannical government. And we are at that point.
Yes.
So that's what we need to talk about. And that's where the narrative needs to go. And this idea that, and because they're not teaching our children the history, because we don't understand our own history, they think it's a social issue. They think these guns are a social issue. 374 people in 2016 were killed with a rifle. Thousands and thousands and thousands of them were killed with a handgun.
And thousands and thousands more with knives.
Double the amount. So here's the thing. Over 600 people in that same year died from hands and feet. You were more likely to die from someone punching you in the face than you were from a rifle. Why is the rifle under attack? It doesn't make sense. People need to wake up, and they need to do their own research. Quit listening to fake news. It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
I'd like to point out something here. I was talking about the bump stock firing into a crowd. I'm not a fan on a personal level of full auto for exactly the reasons you mentioned. I'm for accurate shooting. I'm for picking a target and shooting it. And I really have no use for throwing a lot of dollars downrange quickly, except for the kick it gives you to see something chew up.
Yeah, it's fun to shoot.
But I will say this. I believe the infringement upon my right to own a fully automatic rifle, fully automatic machine gun, is actually wrong.
If I wanted a howitzer in my front yard, I should be allowed to have it, because it says we the people.
Until 1936 or so, we had the right to do that. And we still have the right. It's just the government took that
Well, because they infringed upon it, which is exactly what they're not supposed to do. And it's of all the amendments, let's be honest, it's the most clear-cut one to understand. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. That means don't touch it. Leave it alone. Yeah. People will figure it out. Hey, if my neighbors don't like me having a howitzer on my front lawn, they'll move.
Yeah. Or you'll get a zoning
car I have there.
Right?
They're complaining about the old car I have there, so, it's
Yeah, there are other answers. Well, it is. And people have to remember, this is just a ruse. This has got nothing to do with saving children, because you know what? If you were serious about saving children, if you were really, truly serious, you would do what we do in the inner cities. You have metal detectors, you have secure doors, you have guards, armed guards with guns inside and outside the school. That's why you don't see mass shootings in Detroit. That's why you don't see mass shootings in downtown Chicago schools.
How about gun-free zones, Gary?
Gun-free zones
soft targets
are soft targets. If you're serious about saving children, harden the target. We do it to our banks. We do it at the Capitol building to protect our politicians. We do it to protect any government building.
Concert goers in ballparks. I mean, you have a higher level of protection.
Air travel.
Yep, but not at our schools.
But not at our schools. So what is wrong?
Because it costs too much money.
No, that's nonsense. It is complete and utter nonsense, and they know it, and everybody knows it. This is just an excuse for them to come after the guns, because a gun didn't walk in there and kill them. In this last case, this Cruz kid went in, and let's be honest, because we've been over this before. FBI was notified last September and again in November, December, right? January 5th, they were told he was going to shoot up the school.
Literally, that was what they said, that he was going to shoot up a school. He was putting postings on social media that he wanted to be a professional school shooter. Yep. And the Broward County sheriffs and local law enforcement went to his house or were dispatched there 39 times.
45.
Oh,
between the local and the sheriff, 45 times. And there was a video of him walking outside his trailer, brandishing his weapon and shooting. He should have been arrested. The gun should have been taken away at that point. Period.
You realize what happened in Whitmore Lake?
Oh yeah, right? And we're going to get to that.
Okay.
We had.
I didn't see it.
We've got a few minutes. We'll start on it. If we don't finish, we'll pick it up after. So this week, Whitmore Lake, we had school threat. Right, 2 kids that are over the age of 17 or 18, whatever.
One was 18, I think. One was 17.
Yeah, and those kids, they put their names in there. I'm not going to mention their names,
but they let him go.
There's a 16-year-old, and then there's another young kid that they may or may not charge, right? So 4 involved, 2 arrested, 1 let go, and 1, I think, still under suspicion or whatever. But I guess there was a gun involved, actually, that was at least available to them.
I didn't know that. I just knew there was a threat.
So,
and I know somebody who knows that kid.
Yeah, these kids need to be punished to the maximum. Mm-hmm. They should not be let off with probation like those kids on the north end of town, right? That shouldn't happen. These kids need to be punished to the fullest extent of the law. Let's take a quick call from Todd. Todd, welcome to the show.
Hey.
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call. This idea of what's going on with all of this little bits of bites at our Constitution and our rights with our weapons, same thing goes on with these union contracts. My union contract has been eaten up to the point where, what's the point of having a union? What are they doing for me? So in so many different sectors, all these legalities are just chomped at little by little until there's nothing left for a foundation.
Yeah. Now, Todd, you're from Whitmore Lake. Have you heard anything more about the school thing up there too?
The school what?
The school threat this week?
No, I don't know a lot about it.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you make a point. It's called progressivism, right? And it doesn't matter whether you're talking about work rules or whether you're talking about Second Amendment or even the First Amendment, right? Because you're seeing that on Facebook now and other social media platforms. They're eating away at your First Amendment rights by saying...
They're progressively eating away at your rights.
Yes, because they don't want you speaking on things that may hurt somebody else's
I'm still in Facebook
feelings.
jail.
You're in Facebook.
I live there.
I've hit Twitter suspension 3 or 4 times now. You know what I mean? And half the time it's like, I didn't say, and they just retweeted something. What's the deal, But they do. And so, Todd, you're dead on. It's a slow eating away, and that's why they call it progressivism. Anything else you got, Todd?
No, just other than that, with regards to these schools and these administrators, this school board is not doing the taxpayers of their area any favors, because then they have to trickle down the progressivism to the administrators, and the administrators don't support the teachers. My wife was attacked, and it was her fault that the student attacked her.
Yeah.
And beat on her.
Yeah. All right. Well, Todd, great call, man. Call us again. Love having your calls from the Whitmore Lake. Take care.
Thanks.
And we'll see all of you on the other side.
People are always on the move, driving to work, hauling the kids to practice. How do they keep up to date? They listen to Wham Talk 1600 just like you. If you're a business owner, your message can reach these people wherever their travels take them. People tune to Wham Radio for intelligent conversation with hosts like Joe Pags, Glenn Beck, Fayrone X, and Dana Lesh. And they'll stay tuned for your message as well. Call 734-971-1600 today and advertise your business on Wham Talk 1600 and whamradio.com.
Fox News Radio, I'm Karen McHugh. Now, former Deputy FBI Director Andrew McCabe sounds off following last night's firing.
And he claims that it was done in part to damage him as a witness in the special counsel's investigation. And in a statement, he said, "For the last year and a half, my family and I have been the targets of an unrelenting assault on our reputation and my service to this country."
Fox's Garrett Tenney. With the firing, McCabe will lose his pension. He was to retire tomorrow. The slow work of cleanup and recovery from this week's pedestrian bridge collapse in Miami moves along.
Early this morning, we removed 2 cars, and we're going to continue that work. We suspect we hope to continue that part of the process today, to finish that part of the process today.
Miami-Dade County Deputy Mayor Maurice Kemp. 6 people were killed in the collapse. Fox News. We report, you decide.
Real estate. Your home, whether selling or buying, is likely one of your most valuable assets. When making the decision to hire a realtor, you want someone who will work hard for you. Dennis Boychuk, realtor with RE/MAX, is an Ann Arbor native with over 35 years' experience in this area's real estate and building industries.
Hi, I'm Dennis Boychuk, realtor with RE/MAX. When it comes to your real estate needs, to achieve the successful results you expect and deserve, I come fully armed with the experience necessary and have the systems in place and will not miss any details, large or small, with any of your real estate transactions.
Experience, systems, results. Are you considering selling or buying a home? Call Dennis Boychuk with RE/MAX today at 734-323-0222. That's 734-323-0222. Or visit the website at a2forsale.com.
Your bridge to recovery and wellness is WellBridge. WellBridge is redefining the rehabilitation and nursing care experience with the most amazing care facilities you've ever seen. All WellBridge locations offer a resort-like atmosphere, and their driving goal is to provide each guest with an epic experience. Here's former patient Evelyn Danielson from Brighton.
It was excellent. It wasn't only just the physical part of it, doing your exercises with them. It was the RNs, even down to the kitchen people that came in and said, "What can we fix you? What do you like? We'll try to do it for you." And everything with a smile. I couldn't get over. I would heartily recommend WellBridge.
For rehabilitation and nursing care, ask for something epic. Ask for WellBridge. In Brighton, Fenton, Novi, and Pinckney. Now looking for talented nurses and certified nurse assistants to join their growing team, WellBridge invites everyone to learn more about them at thewellbridgegroup.com. WellBridge, your bridge to recovery and wellness starts here.
And welcome back. We're picking up the pieces for the second half of the show. In studio with me, Ipsy Ed Bonderenka.
Hey.
Ash Hampton.
Hey.
And I was enjoying the average white privilege band there. We were playing good bump music.
White privilege. Yeah, I don't have any white privilege, so I'm not even going to take care of that.
You're green today, man.
I am green today. I'm green on the inside, too. All right, let's take care of a little business. It's tax season is almost upon. It is upon us.
It is
right? If
upon
you're not
us, folks.
already working on your
up.
taxes, you've got a problem. Pull your stuff together and call Lepper Accounting, Lepper accounting.com, 810-355-1552. They've got an office in Ann Arbor and an office in Pinckney, 810-355-1552. Do not try to do your taxes yourself.
And they can get you an extension like they're getting me one, too.
Extension. It's a red flag when you do your own taxes. When you have an accounting firm sign off